Scott, Ubisoft cancels the Division Heartland so it can focus on bigger opportunities like XDefiant. Andy Chalk over PC Gamer. Dude, I wonder if they see something here that I just don't. Right? There's got to be some kind of math behind this. Let's get into it. 3 years after announcing its all-new perspective on its long-running Division series, Ubisoft has quietly pulled the plug on the Division Heartland, saying it has decided to focus its efforts on other games instead. Details were scant on the Division Heartland was first announced. Beyond that, it was a free-to-play, quote, standalone game that doesn't require previous experience with the series, end quote. We got a closer look in 2023 when it was showcased as an extraction shooter with survival elements, set in a small town in Middle America. Ubisoft said that the time that developer Redstorm was, quote, taking a test and learn approach to building this game, end quote. The player feedback from ongoing closed beta tests guiding development. We never got a chance to try the Division Heartland ourselves, and now we never will. Amidst all the hullabaloo of the big Assassin's Creed Shadows reveal, Ubisoft also revealed in a much more low-key fashion, which is to say, by way of note in the fiscal year 2023-2024 earnings report, that it has canceled the game as part of the ongoing effort to, quote, streamline its operations and adapt to evolving market trends, end quote. Quote, in line with the increased selectivity of its investments, Ubisoft has decided to stop development on the Division Heartland and has redeployed resources to bigger opportunities such as XDefiant and Rainbow Six, end quote, the company said. Rainbow Six Siege is an ongoing winner for Ubisoft. Absolutely, Scott. What are we, year 8 now? Right?
Yeah, I think that may be their strongest release ever. I don't know about the For Honor numbers myself, but
it's still going strong from what I see. There's always another season coming. There's always new content dropping. So if you're in on For Honor, dude, you're all in, which is cool to see. I'm glad that game is still going. But it's interesting to see that put that kind of weight on XDefiant's shoulders. Despite a rough introduction in 2021, XDefiant looks like it might be pretty good, but whether that will translate into a sustainable long-term audience is a very big open question. Scott, my biggest thing is, and we talked about it just the other day, actually, they have Rainbow Six, and they have it so there's casual play, there's competitive play, and then there's pro league play. Are they gearing XDefiant to become the same?
I think that is the idea. Yeah, the lack of skill-based matchmaking in casual mode is going to allow. I think it's because it's trying to push everybody into that ranked. And Ubisoft is actually one of the few that I trust to deploy a games of service long term.
On the other hand, XDefiant does have one big advantage over Heartland. It's ready to go, with a pre-season launch set for May 21st. It's also fair to say the development of Heartland does not appear to have gone especially smoothly. It was originally supposed to be out sometime in 2021-2022, and things on the Division front have changed as the target has slipped further and further behind. The Division 2 is still chugging along. The Division Resurgence, the mobile game, is expected to arrive later this year, and full-scale Division 3 is in the works now. Maybe that's just enough Division for now. The other thing is, dude, Division 2 still going strong. It is still getting new updates, new content, new drops, new this, that, and the other. And part of me goes, all that work in the Division Heartland has to go somewhere at some point. Maybe not all of it, but maybe they'll take little bits here or there and somehow drop it into the Division 2. Will we see any of that translate into the Division 2? Or has Heartland gone to a point? Because you got to think about it. Dude, they announced it 3 years ago. Probably already in development 2 years prior to that. That's 5 years of development. You're not just going to scrap that entire game. They're going to take pieces from it, right?
I'm not certain if this had that AAA budget the entire time, though. For 5 years of development, I would have expected to see something more in the way of marketing. This would be, kind of levied as the next biggest Division 3, but I think what this likely was a big test zone. They state Redstorm, quote, taking a test and learn approach to build the game. Yeah. I think that's more so just research and development for whatever the next division is going to be. I don't know if that was what Heartland was always intended for, but all of that work has to go somewhere.
Well, it was funny. We've seen a lot of the companies and studios build games for the extraction shooter survival game mode, right? And we've seen a lot come and a lot go. And I wonder if that's what Ubisoft saw the writing on the wall here with Heartland and said, no, you know what? At the end of the day, this isn't going to work. Let's let Vigor just take it. Let's let, who else has got right
Marathon.
now? Marathon's coming up is another one. Fair Games is another one, somewhat in that vein, right? And right now the big one over on PC is Gray Zone.
Gray
Warfare,
Zone.
right? So there's a lot. Actually, Corey right now for the team is working on that one as well. There's a lot to kind of unpack into that one, and there's a lot of development still ahead of that one in particular. But Heartland, I thought would have been, dude. Man, I really wanted to get into Heartland because I was looking for that. Cool, it's the Division feel. It's got that Division touch. Let me see, because you get into the Dark Zone right now, right? And there's got a bit of that feel to it right there. So I guess there is that side if I wanted to jump into the Division side of it to get into this Heartland feel. But this is a whole new setting, free to play. Would have been easier for everybody to kind of just pile into a brand new game. But if they didn't want to maybe separate the player base, why don't they just bring parts of the Heartland over into the Division 2, which already has a massive community and a strong install?
I think that's likely what's going to happen. Whether it's official in the plans right now or not, I think we're going to see those assets make its way over. Or it's just the first part of Division 3 is already taken care of.
Well, that's the other side of it, right? Did they think, oh, you know what, this part works, this part works, this part works, cool. This part didn't, nope, scrap that. And let's start the Division 3. The Division 3 is already been in production, right? But we'll see how it goes, because right now, Massive's busy. We got Star Wars Outlaws coming up. That's from the same team that makes the Division. So how big have they separated their teams to be able to handle all of these projects, right? You got a mobile game here, you got this game. Granted, Ubisoft is like 100 studios, so who knows? But I don't know, this one kind of hurt, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It's business, and they got to make sure that now everything, dude, when it drops, it has to hit. And especially coming out of Ubisoft, they can't have a mediocre game. But I'm just surprised that they put all this emphasis and focus on XDefiant, making it seem already like it is the next big game. We'll see, I guess, really, right?
Yeah, I think they're doing everything they can to secure that release is not faltered. And well, Ubisoft putting all their effort into a release is something that is pretty welcome to my ears.
Absolutely. Let us know if you were excited for Heartland, or maybe you're just excited for XDefiant. ITGTV.com.